Wow, you're very judgy for someone who's just sitting there.
I know. Someone that couldn't even fucking get into the call last week.
Yes, Selena.
What? The call that I
With
wasn't
Sam.
notified about?
No, the Sam one.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, 1-1.
It wasn't accessible.
Maybe 2 missing. All right, let's go. Warning, this podcast may contain bad language and content that some listeners may find offensive. And if you tuned in with us last week, it's a very similar show.
I thought that when
But won't be done in
this.
sequential order, hopefully, if we record soon. I don't mind breaking the fourth wall now because everyone's watching anyway. Fuck it.
Then are you going to retract all of the fourth wall breaking that I did and the horrible comments I got previously?
No, because I edited them out.
Yeah,
Stop
well,
being a little bitch.
mostly. Mostly.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, there's some still in there. I do listen to our episodes to make sure that
Yeah, I do listen
fuck up.
occasionally. I am in and out.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we start the episode then?
We don't open with jokes anymore, do we?
I mean, we always have you the biggest joke of all.
It's just hurtful.
It is, and the score.
I love it. Give me more.
The score is nowhere near even. Welcome back to Seesaw Podcast. I haven't thought of anything to compare us to this week. We
How
are
about the fourth wall breakers of podcasts.
Yep, the fourth wall breakers of podcast, but I'm sure a lot of podcasts do that anyway. I mean, we're not a radio drama.
We could be, though.
We're not Deadpool.
Ooh, we could do our own Seesaw radio drama as an episode. Yeah?
Who's writing that? Oh, we do know an author.
Yeah.
Who could potentially write a radio drama for us.
There we go.
Right.
An author that might be watching on Twitch.
We'll have to... There's the thing is, right, once it's written, we'll also have to memorize the lines and do it. This seems like a lot of work. So let's be fair. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have time for that.
I'm going to tell you right now that Selena's way of pronouncing things that she hears over voiceover will probably break the immersion.
I'll smash it.
Oh, man.
I've got a drama A-level.
Okay, right. I don't know. What you might have a drama A
the
level,
icon,
but you don't have a listening to voiceover and talking it out. That's what we should do it all on voiceover and just try and speak back our own characters. It'd be good for an opening segment at best before it all goes to shit.
Yeah, I agree. So, shall we do our check-ins? It's only been a few days since we streamed last. Hasn't even been 1 week.
Since you looked at me.
Thanks, Bare Naked Ladies. I'm glad you got that reference. So, how is everyone doing in the last 3 days?
Well, I have news.
Oh.
News. Ooh.
I felt like she saved this as well.
Yeah, I did, because I totally... Well, people didn't hear T's pre-news. Not pre-news. Pre-podcast news.
Yeah, and they're not going to.
Well, I saved mine for the podcast. I've got a new job.
Hey!
I've got 3 jobs now, because I'm greedy.
Bragging.
I know, right? People are struggling to get one, Selena.
I know.
All right, what's your third job?
I am now an apprentice in sporting excellence. Apprenticeship to become an international footballer.
Whoa! Amazing.
Yeah.
Well done,
I know,
man.
right?
Congrats.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Genuinely, you won't get much genuine praise on this show normally, but that is worth genuine praise.
Thank you. Also means that my Tuesday nights are now out, so don't know when we're going to record.
Monday nights.
Yeah.
Monday nights for Seesaw, and sometimes Thursday.
And speaking of new jobs, if you'd like a job on Seesaw as a third co-host, must tick the same boxes as Selena in all respects.
Oh, no, congrats. Massive congrats.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Also, on the subject of praise,
Mm-hmm.
2 things have become apparent in the last week. One, I said to T, well, they're doing the podcast last week, and you said, why are you being weird? And then secondly, actually, this isn't praise, but this is more feedback. When I did that cake podcast, T said to me, it was really weird. And I said, why? What was your response, T?
I said it was weird to have him on a podcast and not be an arsehole.
No, that wasn't what you said. What he said was, it was weird to see you not be a cunt. That was what you said.
Yes, that's exactly what I did say. I was waiting the whole time for him to turn around and say something. It's like the expectation is in me for him to say something horrible that needs to be bleeped or derogatory to one of us.
Was
And
it
he
just
like,
edited out?
yeah,
No, they don't edit anything. I was the picture of professionalism.
yeah, on the show he was like so professional. Like,
I need to listen to this. I need to listen to it.
I'll put the link in the show notes and I'll send it to you afterwards as well.
I think it's on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Cleaves in business mode.
It is
Yeah.
entirely business Cleaves, and it's kind of scary because you see a side of him which we don't normally see. It's like proper buttoned up shirt, trousers on, shiny shoes, Cleaves, which we know he isn't. It's
Ooh,
it's actually quite convincing as well.
sounds good.
Like you make it sound like it's an act.
You know those like spy films where they got to go deep undercover, like at the ambassador's ball and stuff like that, and they got to pretend to be something completely other than an assassin. It's entirely that, and he's really convincing with it because he knows his stuff and like he's blatantly got his scripts down. But you know, as soon as like afterwards, when the shirt comes off, he's just back to being a cunt.
Hmm.
Yeah, definitely listen to it because it's for those who listen to this show, it's really weird to hear him in another context.
I'm a nice guy. This is my facade. If anything, I'm normally a nice guy.
No.
All right, let's call that my catch up. What's your catch up to?
Yeah, doing okay. Doing right.
He's got some ball tickly news that he can't talk about.
No,
Yeah.
no news. No news from me. Nothing that I want to talk about on here yet. So stay tuned. I'm not committing to anything at this point.
Ooh.
Boo, indeed.
Boo,
I've got a quick
teasers.
blind news.
Oh,
Excellent.
holy go on.
Far away.
I have 2 bits of quick blind news.
Just
It's been a
one.
while since we've done it.
Yeah.
Just one will do.
No, I've got 2. The other one was like a
Regular,
bonus.
Okay.
Thirsty for news.
So actually, one of them I stumbled across when I was looking for something else.
Physically.
No, virtually. Apparently, Leicester have now got talking bus stops.
But, oh,
Actually, that's quite good. I wish Nottingham had those.
Yeah, I didn't know
Just
about
push
it
the button
until I
and
read the
then that's
news,
the next
though.
one. Yeah.
But you wouldn't want to push a button, would you? Because how would you find a button?
Yeah,
You want them
apparently you
just
have to push the button.
Oh, what?
Yeah, a bit of a guide dog,
Yeah,
you say
yeah.
find the box.
I don't actually know where
Why
they
would it
are in
not just-
Leicester.
why would it
Apparently,
not
there's
just
26
say?
of them, but I don't know which bus stops. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not going to ask any more questions, but
No,
God,
stop
Yeah,
asking
don't ask
annoyed.
question. And then my other quick blind news, because I'm just football obsessed, obviously.
Oh, is this Michael
Um,
Owen based?
This is Michael Owen based.
Fine, that's going to be my quick plan news. Let's just say that we both had that news, okay? This is like when you give someone a present and you go, oh, that's from both of us.
I hope you play the Quick Blind News jingle twice then.
Would you like to share that news then, please?
Nope.
No? Okay.
So are you.
Okay. There's a new documentary out called Football is for Everyone, which follows the partially sighted football team at the World Blind Games
Oh, God, are you in another
last summer.
documentary?
I don't think I'm in it. I mean, I haven't seen this.
She's tried.
But it is about Michael Owen and his son who has Stargardt's disease, and then following the partially sighted guys. It's on TNT or Discovery Plus, both channels I don't have, so I can't watch the documentary. But apparently it's meant to be really good.
If you are in it, you know we're going to be coming back to this in 10 years when we're still doing this, like we did with Blind Young Things.
Maybe we'll make friends again.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll fall out of touch and then we'll start a new podcast and then.
Ooh, maybe James Owen could be our new co-host.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe.
So what we need is another white guy.
Or Michael to bankroll it.
That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah.
Bit of fame wouldn't go amiss. That's the one thing Selina's lacking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Come back when you're famous. When England win the Grand Prix in football,
Mm-hmm.
then we'll be famous.
Okay.
And you can get a slot on the documentary. You can do like a
I
welcome
know.
to Wrexham, but like a welcome to blind Wrexham.
Yeah.
Flexum.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Well,
sound great. though.
it's coming. It's coming. Don't worry. My fame's it's building.
Cool.
The dragons come.
I also have QBN.
Ah.
So, the Mirror
On the
newspaper has reported that at least 1/4 of employers have been deliberately shirking the equality laws to not employ blind people.
Oh, kill Breeze.
Yeah. Comes as no surprise to any of us.
I felt like they probably didn't even have to do any research on that either. They probably just went probably about 25%, yeah, if not more.
That's a bit low, I think.
Yeah, I think so as
Yeah,
well.
I
25% is probably what they could prove.
Yeah, I also thought it was low. And one thing that I did notice in the article when I skimmed it, they said the Equalities Act of 2010 is the Equality Act
Why are you so
of
obsessed
2010.
with that?
Because it's. I know the Mirror isn't a reputable newspaper. It really isn't. But like I said to you prior to recording, it takes 5 seconds to name the legislation correctly. Please just do your due diligence. Come on. Like if you typed in Equalities Act, it's not going to come up with it.
It probably will.
Okay. It probably will. But it's not what the law is called. It's not what the legislation is called. It's called the Equality Act. And this was like in the opening paragraph. It's like, come on. And it was said with such confidence by the writer. I'm like, yeah, basic research, mate. Come on. Sort it out. And that's the QBN.
It's quite long.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I'll be cutting substantial amounts of that in the final podcast.
Oh, yeah. You absolutely.
You know how this rolls nowadays.
Mm-hmm. It won't even be in the podcast. Yep.
No.
Yep.
Don't sigh. It'll turn up somewhere, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Quick blind news of 2024.
All right.
Yeah, the Michael Owen documentary.
Remember that documentary from a year ago?
Oh, I remember. So this week we are continuing the milking of accessibility. Well, at least until this episode is taken and put elsewhere in the timeline, in which case we are talking about accessibility. And we are reviving one of the shows that we've done in the past.
Bro, it was never dead. It was just sleeping.
Yeah.
Like Juliet before she woke up and decided to kill herself after Romeo actually killed himself.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
Yeah, great. Amazing.
I got chops, man.
You're gonna get
Literary chops.
You're going to get a chop. So this week we are bringing back I Can Do That. So this is a show where we will take. Let's see how I left the gap there for the edit, but on the stream it is a bit weird. Yeah.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So this is a show where we will take various jobs which you would conventionally think are not accessible to the visually impaired and blind community, and we attempt to make them accessible. So in the past, we've had things like electricians, mascots at holiday parks, all sorts of stuff. So we're just going to do a general one this time. There's no real seasonal relevance to it, unless one of you has a seasonal relevance.
Yeah, it's January and we're all about the jobs, people.
Yep.
What are you about? It's February. What are you about?
It is actually February.
January's done.
Fine. It's 2024 and we're all about the jobs, people.
Yep.
That's all members of Seesaw, potentially.
Yep. Potentially. Okay. So, who wants to kick us off with
Not me.
a job?
Not me.
Does that mean Selena hasn't done her homework?
Yep, definitely.
I mean, let's just come to me later.
When you've had time to think.
No, I've got stuff stored, but yeah. Let's just start with you first.
All right, I'll go first. It's not necessarily a job per se, but it encompasses several jobs.
Okay.
Flight crew.
Oh, that is a job.
Did
You
I
get
hear
employed
fight
as a
or
member of
flight?
Flight. As in
Flight.
captain. Well, I guess pilot and
Mhm.
co-pilot. I was going to call him a co-captain. Jesus, I don't even know the names of the jobs. And then flight crew, cabin crew, whatever you want to call them.
Okay.
Air hostess or air people.
Yeah.
What do you call them these days?
Derogatory. God.
I believe they're called air stewards.
I
A
just thought they were
steward.
called flight crew.
Yeah.
By the by, we're out of touch.
Okay. So what specific job? Because there's like 3 there.
Yeah,
Do you
3
want
all 3 of them. Let's start with pilot.
to- Okay. Pontius.
Fine, that's easiest.
Ow.
They basically don't fly the planes anymore anyway.
Yeah.
I know they get a bit of autopilot, right? But they've still got to take off and land.
That's all
Mm.
done by the robots as well. They're just there in case
it's
of
not
fuck
all
up.
done by the robots, though, is it? Actually, I was talking to someone on my recent, but probably not recent, Look mentor scheme. Someone's training to be a pilot on that, one of the volunteers. And he was like, a lot of the plane crashes that go wrong, well, I guess they've already gone wrong at that point, are because of very minute human errors. Like, for example, if it, like, you're talking to the person in ground control and they say you're X amount of feet above, or one of your instruments is only like a few feet out, then you could be potentially just like crashing into other planes.
Yeah.
So plane parking sensors is the thing I'm going to first start with, but they're actually really far, like sonar sensors. I don't know, just like a mile in front. I don't know how fast planes fly.
Very fast.
Yeah, what?
About 600 miles an hour.
How many is that?
Do you think you could just go slower if you've got a visually impaired pilot? Like,
Mate, I don't want to be getting.
Our high passengers, by the way.
Somewhere. You know, if I don't want to go slow, I'd take a boat. I'm not.
By the way, passengers, we have a visually impaired pilot today. It's going to take 50% longer.
That's
we
why
always
your
need
flight
extra
was
time.
50% cheaper.
You know what?
He's also getting paid 50% less because we're disabled.
Yep. You know what? I think people would still go for that, like a 50% longer flight for 50% less.
I'm not sure they would.
No,
Okay.
people like a good deal.
Yeah, they do.
Plus, it take you more fuel to fly at slower speeds, right? Surely, because you'd be in the air longer. I know they overfuel anyway, but
I don't know physics. We need a physician.
there'll be like an optimal. It's like when you drive a car in it, like you can drive at an
Hmm.
optimal fuel efficiency capacity.
Okay. I'll take your word on that, man who's never driven.
It's pretty common knowledge. Like,
Okay, so
cars have that thing.
parking sensors, right? Indeterminate length based on someone a lot smarter than us deciding how far they would have to be ahead.
2 miles. It's quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. What
Big
about?
sensor.
I mean, the autopilot would take care of a lot of stuff in the air.
Yeah. It does a lot of time anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I
assume
mean,
that
the
pilots just-
pilot can be blind, but the co-pilot doesn't have to be blind.
No, in this scenario, they're both proper blind.
Right. Okay.
Okay, I'm not getting on that plane. Call me prejudiced, but
I will. Right now.
so okay.
What about an emergency landing, though?
I mean, if you look at a lot of reports, emergency landings don't normally end well.
There's that guy that drove the plane into the river. He came out all
Captain
right.
Phillips?
Sure.
No, that was the boat one.
Whatever. No, there was a guy that like dropped a plane into a river and everyone survived.
Yeah, it was the Hudson River, wasn't it?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. But it was played by Tom Hanks, who also played Captain Phillips, which is the boat film.
Okay.
I know who you mean, though.
Why do you
Tom
say
Hanks.
that?
Tom Hanks.
Sure.
Yeah, it was Tom Hanks.
Didn't even know they made a movie about it.
They made they made a movie. So okay, yeah, emergency landing.
It's going to be tricky, isn't it?
You just listen to the air traffic controllers that guide you all the way what to do.
Yeah, but you're not landing at an airport, are you? Sometimes you're landing in like the sea.
Yeah, but
or
maybe they can still help.
a forest.
I mean, let's face it, screen readers are going to tell you if like you're level and
That's
like
it,
your
yeah, alright.
altitude and stuff, aren't they? So
Yeah.
that's going to help out.
Voice over screen. Yeah, okay, fine.
So you'll know if like it cuts out because you just hit a mountain.
What happens if your instruments go down?
Then you're not the right person for the job, I'm
Are
afraid.
you gonna have to get on the radio like,
Giant tape
this
measure.
is your Captain T here. We'll need someone with actual vision to come to the cockpit to let us know how close we are to the ground.
Yeah, and then panic
Possibility.
ensues. But that's why you'd have one of the flight crew to help you.
Moving
They
on to the
can't see either.
yeah.
Are we talking an entirely blind airline?
Yeah.
Okay, I have little to no confidence in this.
Seesaw Airways.
What do you think BA stands for?
Blind airways. It absolutely doesn't. Okay, so the co-pilot is just like junior pilot, so they basically do the same thing.
But they're also blind, so they are also kind of screwed in this scenario.
Yep.
So you go to one of your cabin crew. If you haven't radioed, because you might induce some panic, shall we say, at this point.
Yeah.
But one of your blind cabin crew, I guess, what were they going to do? Just sort of
Serve drinks.
cane around.
You don't need a cane on a plane. It's not.
Oh man, the new Samuel Jackson film, Canes on a Plane.
I would
There's
watch
no
that.
space for a cane on a plane.
Okay, all right. So, all right, but how would you sort of? What are you going to do? Just all right. Let's take their job first. Let's just save emergency scenario for later. Let's just say they're doing their regular job at this point,
Right.
and they're in cattle class. So all the seats are dead close together, and they're serving tea, coffee, beers, other.
Yeah.
Firstly,
It's
how are they
easy
going to
enough.
know? All right, go on, help me out.
Well, you just memorize it, don't you? What's where? Like you would at home in your own kitchen. It's just a little mini kitchen that you're pushing through the aisle.
Okay. All right, yeah, that's kind of fair.
Yep.
You wouldn't want to braille label anything then.
Nah.
Right. Okay.
Nah, you'd be all right.
More memory for the staff. Okay. And obviously there'll be no trouble with the ring pulls because you have one of those ring pull openers.
Oh yeah,
There
yeah.
you are, sir. You can clearly do that.
Yeah.
Giving out the meals as well. How are you going to know which people need the vegetarian and vegan meals as opposed to the regular meat?
Braille sheet on your trolley, and then you'd have little braille things on the end of each seating.
Oh.
Tell you the row
They've got
and
braille
seat
on
number.
some planes now already, haven't they?
Yeah.
Braille on a Plane, the sequel to Canes on a Plane.
Yeah, so that's easily done.
Yeah, but you still you say it's easily done, right? But envision it. You're walking down a plane as
No,
a
I
cabin
wouldn't
crew
use Envision.
with the trolley. Or maybe this is a better thing, right? And you're having to feel on the side of every single seat.
Well, no, you know the layout when you just count them across. Maybe just like swipe your hand across, like you're trailing a wall.
So
just trail
right,
the
so
seats.
you've
One,
got-
two,
you-
three, four,
right, so you've got
five.
to
You know,
remember-
these. Yeah.
Okay, so just to be clear, Selina, I'm
Mhm.
remembering exactly what item is in what trolley, and bear in mind they're going to have several, especially in long haul flights. You're going to have a snack trolley, you're going to have a lunch trolley, you're going to have a breakfast trolley, depending on
Yeah,
what
but
it
it'll
is.
be the same ones. Like
And
you'll
a
get
duty
used
free
to it.
trolley.
Yeah,
So
it's fine.
potentially we've got 4 trolleys with Christ knows how many items to remember. The layout of the plane, which again apparently never differs. It's a lot to remember, is what I'm saying.
I think
Right.
it's possible.
Yeah.
Right now, okay, that's okay.
I think it's possible. I don't think you get everything right, but people on planes are always really understanding, aren't they?
Let me ask you. Right, yeah. Also, yes. Let me ask you this as well, right? At the beginning of a flight, when a blind person stands up and gives you a safety demonstration, how safe are you going to feel?
It depends what direction they're facing.
Are they at the doors?
It's like, oh, pointing to the exits right now and just pointing at some bloke. Their direction.
When I came back from Italy last year, I had a sweet flight because I was in the emergency exit. However, they clearly had little signs that said no disabled person should sit there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. How did you get there? You're not allowed.
No, they just didn't realise.
Yeah.
Mm.
Didn't have my stick out.
Ooh, Italy Airways.
But I didn't say anything either because I had some sweet leg room.
Nice. Nice.
Right, so let's just say people are fine with the blind people doing the safety demonstration, filling up their chairs. I wouldn't want an aisle seat if this was the case because I feel like I'd be touched a lot. Let's just get to this emergency scenario. So the plane's going down.
Okay.
Mm.
How exactly are these flight crew gonna firstly notify the passengers that they're gonna need to have someone sighted up front?
Mm-hmm.
You deputise one of the passengers. That's what you do.
Ooh, do you know what they could do? Excuse me, do we have a doctor on board?
Literally just what I was
Doctors
thinking. Oh
are
my
gonna
god, you
likely
just
be
read my
sighted,
mind.
right?
Literally just thought that. I mean,
So-
unless we're doing doctors next, but
Oh, I didn't think of that. Maybe in another episode.
Mm.
And yeah, we could do. Yeah, you could do the doctor on board thing, and then people just think, oh, you know, maybe someone's collapsed.
yeah.
Get them up front. Like, by the way, we don't need your skills. We need your visual skills. Seriously, help this guy out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Does that ground look close enough to death to you? That sort of thing.
But you see sparks flying up,
In your learned opinion.
skimming the ground like a stone.
You know what's one good thing about flying? You know when they put the seatbelt sign on, makes a ding noise.
Yeah, but it also makes a ding noise coming off as well. If you're on a long haul flight, can you remember when
Mm.
that is?
Yeah, that's true. It makes it needs two different types of dings, doesn't it, for that?
Could
Yeah,
do,
a ding and a dong.
So you know
Yeah.
if you put it on or off.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Or you could just go to the bathroom and sit there for the entire flight, and then you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, but you don't have in-flight entertainment in the bathroom, do you?
Take your iPad. Pay the extortionate rate for Wi-Fi.
Yeah, just sit there jacking it.
Jesus. Okay. Let's
On that
wrap.
note.
Let's wrap this one up. I'm gonna give it a hearty thumbs down. I think it is too complex of an environment, frankly. And you haven't convinced me. Well, frankly, me and Selena were doing the whole accessibility stuff, and even ours were stretches at times.
Memory. That's what Selena said.
Yeah.
I think this is completely possible. Not a whole entire flight crew, but maybe one air hostess or air steward or whatever you want to call them. Just one. Be alright. Inclusive and all that.
I think you could probably be. I think that a member of flight crew probably could be pilot.
No. Just for the fact that
I'm not sure.
people wouldn't fly on that plane. People wouldn't get on.
But most people don't see the pilot, do they? It'd only be that point where, you know, it'd be, let's be honest, it'd be one of those things that was in a comedy sketch, wouldn't it? Like a Jackass sketch where like a guy's dressed up in a pilot uniform, but then he walks down like the flight that you're about to be on and he's like, oh yeah, I'm the pilot.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
to freak
this has
people out.
happened before. True story. A pilot was walking someone's guide dog off the plane, and the passenger genuinely thought that the pilot was blind.
But in a good way or a bad way? Is it like, oh my
In-
god,
in a-
he's blind and a pilot
no,
and he can fly
they're
a plane?
thinking,
Or in the, oh my god, shit.
I'm not getting on this plane. Yeah, one of them.
Right.
Wow.
Maybe people's perceptions need to change, damn it.
Yeah. Maybe Charles will be working on that in the new miniseries.
Mm.
Okay. Well, that was mine.
I assume I'm next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Selena's still thinking of one.
I have something, but I think it's been done before. So carry on.
Doctor.
Oh,
So
really?
someone else was just thinking on the spot.
Okay.
It wasn't the one I originally had, but it came up and I thought it'd be funny to do.
I
I
don't
don't know what
really.
you
I mean,
have.
General practitioner in like specifically.
oh, I was gonna just talk about Daleks and TARDISes, but never mind.
Yeah, well, chat to Ellie about that. So, general practitioner, GP, doctor, all the other names for them.
But
Well, you don't get to see a doctor face to face anymore, so I think it's all right.
you
Carry on.
do. Well, I not recently, but yeah, okay. You can see a doctor face to face though.
Yeah, you
Mm,
can.
Set up an appointment.
Okay.
They normally go through that first, so that's fine. Just describe what your
Yeah.
symptoms are. So if anything,
Do
it's
that bit.
kind of blind accessible anyway.
Yeah, it is. Unless they have something on their back and they don't know what it looks like.
I tell you what. Tell you why they don't let you go anymore. Because when you sit in the chair, you can look over at the computer and see what they're looking at on Wikipedia.
I'm sure that's happened at some point.
Or if they're just Googling your symptoms.
Blind, you say? What is this?
No, I genuinely think a GP with no vision would really. I don't see any real barriers to it.
What about if he says I have a rash or something like that on here, and like you couldn't tell what it looked like or how grossly infected it was or
I
how
mean,
Oh,
much
I
it was
know.
pussifying?
I mean, you're right. I mean, rashes you've got to be careful with. 'Cause one could just be like a heat rash, and meningitis also comes up as a rash as well, which in adults is fatal. So you've
I
got
think
to diagnose that properly.
take a photo, be my AI
Oh yeah.
of
Shit,
the
we didn't think
rash,
about this. We could have done that on the pilot thing as well. Anyway.
But is that
and
going to
ask
be
it.
good enough to diagnose? Like, that is a meningitis rash.
Well,
No, but it could
you
describe
can
what
ask
it
it
is.
question. Yeah, and then
Is
you
it
can.
red? Is it gross?
Does it look like meningitis?
This is the equivalent to verbally Googling something. Why WebMD's on favourites though?
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. I think AI as it gets better will probably help that. Probably help that.
I can already diagnose myself on WebMD. Says I always have cancer, even if I got a headache, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay, let's expand to other doctors. So what about surgeon?
Yeah, surgeon's gonna be complicated.
Yeah, I don't
Robots.
think I want a blind surgeon
I mean,
feeling
you have
around
to be
inside
good
me.
with your hands, don't you, to be a surgeon? And I feel like
Yeah,
we're
but they're
good
not
with our
fucking
hands.
putting their hand inside, like feeling around for your kidney, are they? Oh, where is it? Oh, what's this? Oh, it's the liver. Put it back. Thing. And I'm probably getting like wrist deep inside a chest cavity.
Well, they might be able to know though. You know how like blind people know how to do things just by touch.
Right.
Maybe they'll just like
Mm.
look because they always have the other person on like hands, don't they? There's like one guy doing the anesthesia. There's one person like I don't know watching over, doing
One nurse
whatever.
with a braille labeler who's there
Yeah.
before you actually come in. And you
But
put your hand in. Oh, liver, kidney. Kidney. It's just labeled all the organs for you.
Yeah, well, like let's just say like someone else has made the initial cut, and then you stick your hand in, and you have
Yeah,
a little
maybe.
bit of a
Yeah, I think you
organ
could do it.
feel around, and you're like, oh, that's the heart. That's the base of the heart. It's gonna be roughly in this general direction. I mean, pinpoint accuracy, arguably, is what's needed. But if it's just something a bit more general, I don't know. Put like a grommet in an ear or something. Pretty common surgery, isn't it? In and out in an hour, if that. Done.
Like taking tonsils out or something.
They don't do that
Feel
anymore.
well
Grab
they
them with
are.
some scissors and just
Yeah.
nurse clean up that. I'm going to play golf. I wouldn't be confident. Like if we go back to the whole seeing a blind pilot thing, I'd be concerned if my surgeon was blind.
I think I would as well. If he came around and I was about to have like a triple bypass, and it's like, How you doing, Mr. Brown? I'm like, oh, wrong bed, bro. His next door.
Yeah, go in there for heart surgery, come out with like plastic surgery,
Hey.
brand new chin.
Oh, all right. I thought you were going to say a nice new pair of boobs.
No, why'd you be vulgar? Let's face it,
I
well,
can look how I want to. Don't judge me.
that's true. And your chin doesn't need work, to be fair.
Thanks.
It's quite strong and defined. But the boobs need work.
Yeah. Flattening, if anything.
So I think surgeon, I would be concerned about it. Selina, do you have any thoughts on a blind surgeon? Would you, let's say you're having eye surgery again, would you want a blind surgeon?
Again, I love that.
Bear in mind what
No.
your regular surgeons have done.
Yeah, no. I don't even know how the sighted person does it, to be quite honest. Pretty fiddly.
Maybe they use seeing AI. Be my eyes. Maybe they've got a surgeon to be the eye.
Go and volunteer.
Excuse me.
So I'm doing a liver transplant. I just need you to tell me where the liver is. I'm sorry, I'm not qualified for this. Stay on the phone with the person dies.
I've sent you over a picture so you know roughly what it should look like inside.
I mean, that is a potential. That would be hilarious as a joke.
But to the person getting the liver,
Not so
maybe
much.
that's a new series, us calling Be My Eyes, with completely ridiculous concepts.
we could actually do that. That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah. So I'm trying to land this plane. I need to tell me if that's a 1 or a 0. It's really important.
You
We
get
have
banned and blocked from it. Not doing it on my phone. I need to be my eyes.
We'll get a series of bonus.
Okay, so I think surgeon is a
I would
unanimous
thumbs
thumbs down.
down a surgeon.
Yeah.
GP though, I think GP is
GP potentially, yes.
thumbs up.
Mhm.
They're googling shit anyway. I've seen them do it. Well, I say I've seen them do it in inverted commas, but
And they're just typing up a prescription that goes straight to your pharmacy now anyway. Like the paper prescriptions are basically gone now.
yeah.
Mm.
So that's fine. Like there's no issues there. I mean, eye doctor, I don't think I'd want an eye doctor who's blind.
Didn't know about your condition.
They would, but I would also say that anyone who's specialised in my condition would know my condition. They'd also be able to see what's going on.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think depending on the doctor, it's a yes or emphatic no.
What about Dr. Fraser Crane?
Our psychologist, absolutely any blind person can be a psychologist.
Well, there's probably
There's a
quite a
career
few
for
out
you.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there are
And
some.
maybe that's a guess we have to line up.
Dr. Fraser Crane.
I would love to get Kelsey Grammer, but I don't think
But he
it's
has
ever-
to be Fraser at the time.
I think we're asking a lot trying to get Kelsey, let alone asking him to put on Fraser for the entire show.
Mate, I think if he said yes, he'd be more than happy to do Fraser because he's not going to say yes in the first place, is he? What's that extra step?
I mean, maybe you should put on your list for Stevie.
Maybe I will.
Yeah. Ah, so there we go. Doctor.
Okay.
So it's time for
It
Selina.
is.
So
Drum
the
roll,
thing
please.
is, obviously you've been doing this series for quite a long time, pre my existence.
We've only done
So-
3 of them. And you were on one of them.
Well, I remember
That
the
was-
last one
that
because
was
that was a
Christmas
summer
jars.
special.
Yeah.
Oh
What?
no, we've done a summer one. Okay, so we've done summer and Christmas.
Christmas we did novelty jobs, didn't we?
Yeah.
That was last year.
All
You've been
right,
here a long time now, Selina.
and we did summer, but you're saying there's only been 3, so there's only been 1 that I wasn't present.
Yeah, so this better be good.
But I think maybe you did it on that one then. So-
Pressure on.
The post office has been in the news a lot lately for all the wrong reasons, which therefore got me thinking about postman or post lady. Have this been done before?
No.
Oh,
Congratulations, you struck at best bronze.
swear you've done it before. Okay, cool. So,
We might have
I
talked
want
about couriers before, maybe. In Amazon
Ah,
warehouses.
right. Let's go.
So
Let's just go with
a
this then.
postie.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think a postie is very accessible.
How about driving the van?
Yeah.
To get hooked up on this van shit again. The ice cream van all over again.
Oh yeah, I forgot we did ice cream vans.
And you said if they drive really slow and they know their route and use sat nav and a lot of parking detectors, they could do it.
Yeah. To be fair, Posty could probably do that actually, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. But how about getting around? It's going to take a blind postman longer to do the round than a regular postman, right? Because they're going to have to like swing a cane or use a guide dog. Well, actually, firstly, how are they going to know which house they're at?
I mean, numbers are at
Sounds
different
good.
locations.
Soundscape. Do you think that would work?
Maybe not completely accurately, but
I mean,
But
it doesn't
then-
tell you the house numbers, does it?
no.
It's
kinda tells-
always, that's a sign of Selina losing faith in her idea almost instantly.
It kind of lets you know roughly if you say where am I, or let you know roughly where you are. But I mean, again, this might take a bit of memorization of knowing some house numbers and house
That's
streets.
way more to
Job.
memorize than it is a flight.
You'll learn your route, right? You'll learn you'll know this driveway is number 1, for example. Oh, the one with the crazy
Shitty
dog
pavement.
barking. That's number 4. You remember bits like that.
All right. Well, okay. Let's say you know where the houses are, right? How do you know what letter you're posting to that house?
Well, they sort them out before they go, don't they? Posties.
Oh yeah, sure. But when you reach,
They don't just look through their bag, rummaging. Oh, I wonder if there's any for this house.
I know, I get that. But they're gonna look, what I'm saying is they'll have sorted them into a certain order, for example, right? Let's say number 1 Harrington Drive is at the beginning and number 54 Harrington Drive is at the end, right?
Yeah.
There's not gonna be one letter per house, is there? So how do you know which one to go to?
No, because you have like a little filing, like little things you have in filing cabinets.
Filing
little
cabinet.
dividers.
Oh right, so there's like a filing cabinet, and it's a one per house filing cabinet. You just have to rummage through each filing cabinet to know.
No, so
No,
the
just an
dividers
actual-
the dividers that you get in a filing cabinet have little braille like name of the house and the number. So if you just go to that one, and then that little pouch or that little section is for that house.
Right.
But,
And then
yeah.
it'll be,
Okay.
and you
Office
just put
filing
them in
cabinet on
those
wheels.
slots. You just
Yeah,
put them in
okay.
those slots before you go, so they're already in order. And then when you're on the move, you can just.
I mean,
Get
that would
them.
work if you had a filing cabinet on wheels and then each divider you brailled on the address and then that was already sorted for you.
No, we don't need the whole filing cabinet. You can still do it in the bag.
But it's a good way of keeping them dry and organised.
Oh.
How?
I don't know how posties keep post dry anyway.
Put it in a bag.
I know, but
Waterproof bag.
they're always in it, aren't they? Getting the post out.
I don't really see postmen very much anymore unless they're driving.
Yeah. Well,
They have a lot more parcels these days than actual paper post.
who
It's
gets
true.
letters?
Yeah, no one. If you sent a letter, then you've needlessly killed a tree, haven't you? Very small tree.
I don't think they
Yeah,
cut down
tree.
trees bespoke to letters.
Yeah, just like a part of a spider plant or something, isn't it? But
Use a letter, kill that succulent.
someone printed something at work today and they printed it one-sided, and I just looked at them and went, "The Amazon weeps for you." Oh, too much. Which is ironic because Amazon probably use more cardboard than any other company alive. But
Yeah.
That's true. Okay. What about the situation of incorrect deliveries? I mean, that's going to happen.
yeah, and you do
Mistakes
like
will happen.
every post company or
That
any other-
happens now.
Yeah,
But I think it happened a lot more with a blind postie.
You just go to your neighbour and don't you post it through their letterbox. You just no one needs to know.
I guess so.
That's
Well,
what my
what
neighbours
about-
do. That's what I've done for my neighbours.
What about if there's a note to say if I'm not in, put it in like the shed?
Oh, that's a good. Yeah. But also, like, do you know when they say like, "Oh, left at number"?
Mm.
It's like, so left at number 19. But I've been walking around the estate.
Left somewhere.
But they don't
Yeah.
take, actually, nowadays, they don't even get signatures, do they? They take a little photo of it, right? So maybe
Oh
like,
yeah.
it's one of
Just
those,
send the photo. Yeah, this
like,
is where it is.
the guess who of where's the parcel been left. I've had that
Next
with
to a
Amazon a few
tree.
times.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
That
it's
works.
going to be tricky, isn't it? Regardless, it's going to be tricky.
One crucial question I have is, if you're a postman,
Or woman,
specifically postman,
or
in this
person.
particular instance, how are you going to know if your cat is black and white?
Well, you're gonna have a guide dog anyway. Jess, the cat's gonna be replaced with your dog. They'll all know you.
Hmm.
Would it not be better to just have like a cart with a bell on it and then just ring a postman and then people come out to get their own letters? Like, oh, you got anything for number 4? You go,
Actually, that probably would be a better idea. You're like a town crier vibe.
Mm.
yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, I do have some for number 4. Here you go. It's like, oh, no, sorry. But then you can catch up with them and go, oh, but how's things going? So, oh,
Mm.
yeah, I ordered some candles.
No.
Oh,
Time is
well,
money.
mate,
Time is money. If you're Amazon, you're gonna be getting screwed on that.
Yeah, but this is the post office, and we know they don't care about money, or at least paying their employees.
No. Yeah, I'm gonna say there was a lie about it.
Yeah. There you go. Town crier it. I think that's the solution. Yeah, fuck
Possible.
all of this going door to door malarkey. Just, stand on the corner.
But what if you're not in? Then what?
You have a drop box at the end of the street.
Oh, okay. So people can come and just steal your mail. Great.
Yeah, but they'll be individually coded.
But how? Okay. So in this scenario, how's the postman gonna know what?
Braille,
Right. And you're individually. Who's brailing the letters?
me.
This is bullshit.
There's a lot of kinks. I'll give you that. There's a lot of kinks.
This first class mail is gonna take a little time to come, isn't it? Rather than
Just use
you're not gonna
email.
get
Come
it
on,
the
people.
next day.
Email and Amazon drones. That's the future. Let's face it, this job is not going to be around forever.
Touche. Yeah.
Does a blind person even want this job?
Yeah. I've got someone to fly the drones, though, right?
A blind drone pilot, maybe on a future episode. Wow. Okay, well, I think it's if we change how postmen work entirely, it's a thumbs up. If we're trying to get a Blinky to use the current systems, it's a thumbs down for me.
I wonder if anyone's ever had a newspaper around.
I had a newspaper around as a kid.
There you go, it's accessible.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, but
Well,
you deliver one to every house.
yeah, mine was a free paper round, and I could see much better back then. They were the two caveats that made it work.
Yeah, you're not misdelivering if you're giving everyone.
No, I was Mr. Delivering. Got jokes for days, bro.
Right.
Okay, let's leave it there, shall we?
Yeah, I think we've talked enough shit. So, as always, if you think of a job that you want us to make accessible, please let us know. I don't know. The places coming up. If you think we're full of shit or we've completely missed some accessibility silver bullet to make one of these accessible, also let us know as well. But until next time, thanks for joining us on Twitch, and we will chat to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Seesaw Podcast. Your feedback and comments mean a lot to us, so if you'd like to get in touch, you can do so in the following ways.
You can find us on X at Seesaw Pod, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube at Seesaw Podcast. You can email us at seesawpodcast@gmail.com and you can stream with us live every week on Twitch at Seesaw Podcast.
Remember to like, rate, review and share with a friend.
This podcast was recorded in front of a blind audience.